Hey guys, Jim Edwards here, and welcome back to another edition of Sales Copywriting and Content Marketing Hacks with Jim Edwards and
Stu Smith.
And Stu has been busy collecting up all sorts of questions and things from users like you, everybody from funnel scripts to the Jim Edwards method to the Sales Copywriting and Content Marketing Hacks group. And so I'm going to let Stu drive the bus on this one, and I am a passenger, and he is going to ask me a bunch of questions.
Yes, so don't feel like we have ignored you. We have been accumulating several questions, and we're going to put them into a podcast. If they are really easy to answer by email, we'll answer those by email, send them to Jim, or if it's an administrative issue, we have folks that can take care of that as well. But these are really focusing on the podcasts, right? And so this is a fun one, right? I think we all need rules to follow, right? And when I say that is someone asked me a really good question the other day on a podcast and says, Stu, I'm a geologist. We have rules we go by, like gravity is a rule. Water always wins. All these little rules that comes with doing your job in your business. So someone asked me, what were my rules? So we're going to ask Jim today that same question. So give us 3 rules, and why 3? I don't know. Let's just go with 3 rules of sales copy. If you have a 4th one, that's okay. We'll allow it. But for Jim, the question is, give us 3 rules of sales copy.
Okay. The first rule of sales copy is in all of your sales copy, you need to talk about what it does, not what it is. Okay, that's the first one. I don't know how much you want me to elaborate on these.
Well, we did a full podcast on that recently.
Right.
But so that is a great rule.
So I'll just summarize that one real quick then. Most people screw up by wanting to talk about what the product, service, software, coaching, whatever it is. So it's got 350 pounds of torque. It meets 3 times a week. It helps you write sales copy. That's what it is. But what people buy is what it does for them. It creates, it'll last 2 hours on a battery so that you can do all your projects without having to recharge. It helps you to create all the sales copy you could ever need and not have to hire an expensive copywriter or wait for them to get back with you with their copy. It helps you to fulfill your dream of becoming a Green Beret or a Navy SEAL. Whatever it does, that's what you should sell, not what it is. And that's probably the biggest freaking mistake I see people making. And I fall into it too. So first rule is you sell what it does, not what it is. Second rule, in order to get somebody to buy, I guess I have to say the rule succinctly and then explain it.
Sure.
So the second rule is make people emotional. So people won't buy unless you can change unless there's a change in their state. And the easiest way to change someone's state is to change their emotion, whatever emotion that they're feeling right now. So if you want to sell stuff, you have to find the emotional meaning in what your product, service, software, coaching does for people. So the emotional meaning, if we want to think about like a drill and the fact that it has 2 hours of battery life. Well, what are some emotional meanings with that? Could be, it means that you'll be able to knock out your honey-do list so you can go spend time with your kids and with your spouse instead of spending all day doing projects you may or may not really want to do. The emotional meaning is that if you can, by becoming a Green Beret or a Navy SEAL, you will know that you rank among the best of the best in the world and can wear that as a badge of honor for the rest of your life. I was trying to think of other stuff, the emotional meaning behind sales copy or funnel scripts or something like that. If I was thinking about you might have to work your way backwards. Meaning, if you're looking for meaning, and you're like, okay, well, it helps you to create sales copy and not have to hire an expensive copywriter, so you don't have to wait, and you'll be able to get stuff done super fast and be able to go spend time with your family. But I mean, it's okay. I mean, that's better than nothing, but
true.
A lot of times, and I learned this when I was teaching people, I had a course called 5 Steps to Getting Anything You Want. And one of the hardest questions you'll ever ask somebody is, what do you want? Because they'll be real general about it. They'll say, oh, I want more money. I want more free time. I want a better relationship. And all those things are very general, and it's very hard to manifest something general. It's not emotionally compelling. But if you ask somebody what they don't want, they can get real specific real fast. So, what don't you want in your life? Well, I'm sick and tired of having all these bills. I'm sick and tired of never having more than $10 in my freaking account. I'm tired of working for a boss who's an asshole that doesn't pay me enough, and I bust my ass all week, and by the time I'm done paying all my bills, I have like $20 left. I have credit card debt that's just mounting up like crazy, and I'm $30,000 in debt, and there's no way in hell I'm ever going to pay this off. So basically, I'm paying every single month for shit that I bought 6 years ago, and I'm on this roller coaster and this treadmill, and I don't ever see myself ever getting off. Oh, well, shit. All I did was just ask you what you don't want, and you got real specific, and there's emotion in there too. So sometimes what you have to do to find the meaning is to ask the question, okay, if they don't have this, what does it mean? So we'll use an example of funnel scripts. If you don't have this, what does it mean? It means that you're going to be sitting there staring at a blinking cursor in Word going, how in the hell am I going to be able to write this email, or let alone this sales letter, or even these headlines? And if I can't get that done, that means my funnel's never going to get done, which means all this money I spend on ClickFunnels and on all these courses is all going to go to waste. And my friends and my family are going to be looking at me and saying, damn, yet again, somebody had dreams and nothing's happening. Did you see that though? How that all of a sudden it's like, holy crap. And then what you can do is use some jujitsu. What's the opposite of that? Okay. So what's the opposite of wasting all that money? It means all that investment I made in ClickFunnels and all these courses is finally going to pay off, because I finally know how to create sales messages that are super compelling, that make people want to buy, and help me to help a whole lot of people and be rewarded in the process. Did you see how I did that?
Yep, perfect.
And that's key. So I'm actually working on a series of articles and even a training on that, because that's a real big breakthrough that I've had on this. And you can't see my whiteboard, but I mean, I've got it all mapped out on here. And I think this one goes along with that first rule big time.
Yep.
And so I'm actually seeing a whole new set of training around this that I'll be doing.
I love it.
It's going to be pretty cool. Well, that's the second rule. I don't remember what the hell I called it, but it was good.
No, it was called make people emotional.
Okay, make people emotional. And I would say that the third rule is that nothing's perfect. And that means that people get caught up in the idea that I write this sales copy and it either works or it's a failure. It either succeeds or it fails. And that's not how you look at sales copy. Sales copy is only good, better, best. The bad sales copy is sales copy that's never been written. All right. Good sales copy is you got a sales letter or a video sales letter or something that follows a basic pattern that we know works. Okay. That's good. And good is better than nothing. Then we want to get it to better. So how do we get it to better? We get it there through editing, and we get it there through editing and some testing.
Yep.
Best is where you do testing, really. Okay. But better is editing and getting feedback and getting feedback from people who know what the hell they're talking about, not from your friends who are chuckleheads and have no clue what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, buy anything.
Right. Or they're not going to buy anything, and they're just, you know, they're well-meaning, and you just want to punch them in the throat. So good is done. Better is edited and some thought going into it. And maybe you hire a copywriter to edit your copy. That's really what you want to hire a copywriter for, is that you get the first draft done and then hire somebody to make it better. And then best is when you do testing and you're comparing headlines against other headlines. You're comparing your offer against other offers. You're comparing all these things. And that's how you incrementally make the thing better. But I'd say those 3 rules would be the 3 that you could really live by when it comes to sales copy, and go from not very much experience all the way to really having a major impact on your life and business super quick. And Unipig approves of that message. Those are the 3 rules. Are those good?
I love it. I love it. Now, we just learned something from you, right? I think those are 3 great rules.
Okay.
Now, I always have, especially in the fitness world, is showing people, okay, this is what you have to do, right? This is how you do it. This is what you have to do. Then the big 80%, right? It's a big part of it, is getting someone to actually do it, right? So I got 3 additional rules for that.
Everybody wants to know what your workout is, but then as soon as you tell them, they barf and go back to watching Barney Tube with the kids.
Well, exactly. But here's the thing. It's all about follow through. So I have 3 rules for follow through, right? Which you can apply to anything. So now here's the deal. Whenever you see, and I'm going to apply this straight to, you know, how you always use me as your guinea pig, I'm going to use you as the guinea pig this time. So you take the motivation that you had when you saw Jim on his sales letter, and you saw a video, you saw him walking the chickens, whatever he's doing, right? On that first time you saw him jump out of his unicorn outfit, you know, at Funnel Script show, whatever it was, you got motivated, right? You got motivated to say, who is this Jim Edwards guy? Wow, that's a pretty cool system he has, right? That motivation is really important. Otherwise, you wouldn't push the buy button, right? You just push the buy button, and you now are a member of the Jim Edwards method. That's first step, right? That is rule number 1. You have to take that motivation and push the buy, right? Now, take that motivation, and this is the perfect time to start building good habits, right? This is good habit building time 101 when you are in that first few weeks of learning all this new information, right? Now, these habits, however, will only grow with persistence, and that motivation that you had on day 1 has to eventually evolve into discipline. And when it does that, you now thoroughly understand that you put things into the schedule, right? If it's not in the schedule, it doesn't exist, right? You've made a habit of this time every day. I'm going to do something, you know, related towards sales copy, right? I'm going to test out a new headline, or going to add in a new product, whatever that is. Every day you're doing something with that habit that you've created using that funnel script, right? Now, this discipline, this is number 3, and this is the perfect evolution of, you know, how you get stuff done. This discipline will eventually evolve into mental toughness and make you a little more mentally tough, because here's the deal. There's going to be a day when you say, I don't feel like it, I don't have time, but because of this habit that you've created, this discipline that you've created, this mental toughness that you've grown, you will now be able to one day say, I am doing this because I did not feel like it.
Right.
I love going into a gym now, right? And going into the gym and not feeling good at all, But then I turn that around and say, you know what? I'm going to get this done. You know why? Because I don't feel like it.
Right.
Right. And you leave there so much stronger, not necessarily physically because you feel like crap, but you feel stronger mentally.
Right.
That you got it done and you didn't lose that habit of that same time.
Right. So just to recap what you said, it's motivation, habit, discipline. Those are the 3 steps. And the thing I would add to this is to build the habit, it's not necessarily about how much you do when you first start. It's doing something at a regularly scheduled time with yourself. Absolutely. Either at the same time every day or just making sure you have time scheduled every day, depending on what your life is like. But that is how anything gets done. Creating and testing your sales copy. It may be, just like if you want to draw the corollary between working out and selling stuff. In the beginning, when I was working with Stu, we had to get me to a baseline of fitness. That's kind of like you creating your sales copy to get started, your sales letter, your video sales letter, your offer stack, your hook, your epiphany story, whatever it is. All those elements have to be created in order for you to set up a funnel so that you can actually sell something. Same thing with creating your product. You got to do a master class, you got to write a book, you got to create a video series, however you're doing that. But those things are kind of like when Stu had me, doing an assessment and then finally, okay, here, based on where you are, this is the stuff you got to do every day. Then once you get all that stuff done and we get you to a certain level, then you're going to transition to other stuff. Then it's going to be, hey, you're creating new ads every day. You're creating content every day. You're doing content marketing. You're doing sales copy a different way. Then you're doing testing. Then you're doing the things that take that funnel and get it further, wider, increase sales, make you more efficient with the traffic you are getting. So you're building on the habit that was created, the fire was lit by the initial motivation of seeing, oh, wow, that funnel scripts thing is cool. Oh, wow, ClickFunnels is cool. Oh, wow, the Jim Edwards method is cool. Online, all those things, that's cool. I could use that. Then you get in the habit of using it. And then as things change, you're building on that habit and doing the new things by tying them to the habit of doing things every single day. And when the shit comes along that you don't want to do, which it will come, you have such a long history with yourself of getting stuff done that your mind says, I don't want to do it, but I've come this far and there's no way in hell I'm going to let this get derailed now. There ain't no way I'm stopping because I got too much invested in this to stop. And I mean, I go through that with content, and like today, I mean, some things have happened I don't want to talk about, but some things have happened. I didn't want to do this podcast. I didn't want to write the article that I'm in the middle of writing that I'll finish when this is done. I don't want to do the next podcast that we're doing, but I know that it's got to be done, and I don't want to blow the 10 weeks worth of momentum that we've got built up. Plus, now that I'm doing this, it's actually making me feel a little better because it's distracting me from the crap that's going on. So this is real, people. This is not just some bullshit that people are telling you to sell you CDs and, book of the month club stuff. I mean, this is real if you choose to actually act on it and do something with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're wrapping this up.
I think we're good. And I worked out today. I got my reps in. Good. And, it's funny you say that, though. I mean, they're just getting in there and doing, you'll see that you go in waves with this stuff. But the key thing is that you're still moving forward on that timeline. Your results are going to go like this, but you got to keep moving forward on that timeline. It's when you stop, you suck. That should be a t-shirt. When you stop, you suck. I mean, you could probably turn that around a couple different ways. Yeah. Don't stop, suck. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. We don't want to go there. So, I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up. So take us.
All right. So, hey, check out the Jim Edwards Method, jimedwardsmethod.com, and make sure you sign up for the podcast or the closed Facebook page and the podcast, the jimedwardsmethod.com. And the podcast is called Sales Copy and Content Marketing Hacks Podcast. You can find it on YouTube, find it on Google Play, find it on iTunes and Spotify. So check it out where podcasts exists.
There you go.